Welcome back to My Hero Academia Anime Review episode number 84. This I'm viewing the 106th episode of the series, The Unforgiven. Yeah, I know, I'm sure probably the title itself is basically a nod to the old Clint Eastwood movie. It's possible. Excuse me. Now, this episode does finish up the Endeavor Agency arc. Yep. Yeah, they finally finished adapting this arc. Took a little bit longer than expected to basically adapt this one, but yes. And it covers basically the last 3 chapters of the arc, which are chapters 250, 252. We pick up right after the recap of last week's episode, where we have pretty much Endeavor and the boys, who basically is going back to school. And of course, well, you have Deku thanking Chudo's sister for the food, and of course Shishigor shaking his hand and thanking him for being his friend. Then of course Bakudo basically just makes him. He gets in the car first, and well, they all get in the car and they drive back to school. Meanwhile, though, we have the villain ending that series. The guy's name. Any tales? Natsu. Where he's basically talking on his phone. Who is he talking to? His girlfriend. He's basically, looks like he's about to go in the subway, and then he's attacked by Ending. Yep, he's attacked by Ending, and then while Endeavor's taking the boys back to UA High, Ending uses his power. Also, his power apparently moved like the white lines. Yes. So Endeavor is the first one out of the car, basically burning off his outfit he was wearing, and automatically in his regular superhero attire. And of course, also Deku, Shudo, and Bakudo basically get out of the car and go after him. But the chauffeur, of course, Bakudo made the comment on the way there, where he's like, hey, why does anyone have a bigger car than this? Was expecting a limo? Yeah, and of course the chauffeur's like one of those cranky old guys where these kids, the kids these days. And of course, like, hold on. And of course he presses a button in the car and unleashes the 3 briefcases that contain their gear. Which mostly put for them, they don't put on their costumes probably because it takes too much time. So for Deku, he just puts on his gloves. For Bakudo, puts on the freaking gauntlets he's wearing. And Shudo just puts on the vest he wears. I'm not really sure what's the point of that. At least the case of Deku, his gloves, they actually make sense. And Bakudo, his big grenade gauntlet makes sense. Shudo's little backpack, I'm not really sure what's the point of the damn thing. I know he's had it for quite a while. And then later on, you see him put on the attire. Off screen for some strange reason. I have no idea why. Of course, Endeavor basically hesitated. He does remember him. Couldn't exactly remember his name. This character, this villain, Ending. Just like in the manga, he's obsessed with Endeavor, and he really wants Endeavor to kill him that badly. He also references that when he fought the Nemu and the others in Hawks' hometown. And of course, he also takes some people hostage. Deku saves them. Bakudo himself basically saves Shudo's brother, and Shudo, of course, goes after Ending himself, freezing him, and everything is saved in the course of a span of about 5 minutes. Yeah, the fight itself is pretty quick, and of course, Endeavor hugs his son. He's happy he's alive, and of course, basically that they have a good emotional moment. No one tries to ruin it. Those people basically very arrogant, where they're basically honking their horn, trying to get going wherever they're going to go because traffic is held because of the villain Ending. And then he's arrested. It turns out that his power is not fully developed per se. It's mostly powered by the drug Trigger. Yeah, it's something though they brought this thing back. My guess is because, and this is my personal theory, the reason why they decided to bring in the anime, because it's probably become a primary plot thread in the My Hero Academia movie that just came out last week. I don't know when it's going to release here. I am going to review that when it comes out. And then, of course, well, Then after basically Endeavor takes the boys back to UA, and of course Shudo does explain what happened next, where Natsu is brought home. Of course, they also mentioned at the start of it, they mentioned about their late brother Toya, which, if you read the manga, you know where he is. They think he's dead, but don't worry. That'll be something to explain later on whenever the anime gets to Paramount Liberation War. Yeah, so Endeavor explains that basically that he wants to keep his family safe, so he wants to build him a separate home, and he's going to stay at this place. Now, in the manga, he actually says this basically when they cut to the outside. In the anime, he says this while the anime is going on. You see him actually say the line. Yeah, I don't mind the change at all. It's perfectly fine. At least we know it is coming from Endeavor. Because in the manga, you basically don't get exactly a clear indication because they cut to the outside. It's not like the anime, you can identify the voice. They probably had to, my guess is Bones the reason why they had to do that. So the viewer knows that when that line is said, it's said from Endeavor. It's not said by his daughter or his son. It's said by Endeavor himself. He says he's going to build a separate house away from this house, which he does lose in the manga. He does mention this in the manga, but it's unknown if he actually did it because, well, Paramount Liberation War was like in the manga like right after this. And the way it looks for next week, they're going to basically start adapting chapters from that arc, which I'm thinking, that's kind of weird. Like, why the heck would they start adapting that particular arc for? It makes no freaking sense of why the heck they would already start adapting that arc. Like, wouldn't they just, I don't know, wait till the very next season to adapt it? I don't know, because here's the thing. There's not many episodes left to be released. Oh no. If you're curious though, there's exactly 8 left. Yes, 8. And 107 was her released in Japan already. I'm hoping that in the case of the Paramount Liberation War, that they just do the opening 3 chapters, and then they just go straight back to the Meta Liberation Army arc. I hope they do, because it'd be kind of dumb for them to just go ahead and do the. My guess is they're probably not going to do Paramount Liberation War this season. I mean, I don't think they will. Because, well, it's a long arc, and they probably want to save that for next season. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Is going to save it for next season of the series. Yes. And this definitely was a good episode. And finally, we're finished up with Never Agency. So maybe, just maybe, you probably would think next week the party start adapting these next episode that they do Meta Liberation Army. Nope, we're going to the first 3 chapters of the Paramount Liberation War. Not really sure why Bones doing this for. Why in the world they would adapt Endeavor Agency before, like, Meta Liberation. But a lot of people, my personally, the reason why I did this is because of the 3rd movie, and it needs something. And from what I can tell, the movie is set during the Endeavor Agency arc. It's not set after that arc like a way it is with the 2nd film. This is set during that particular arc. My guess is probably just before some of the later half of the canon stuff. That's my personal guess where it's set. We'll probably find out whenever the movie comes out. It'll definitely review for this particular channel. I definitely reviewed that. Okay, so that's it for particular review. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be One Piece. Okay, so next video. Bye.